Welcome to the Please Suck Less podcast, a podcast where one guy shares his views of where the fire service can improve. Thanks for listening. Back to the Please Suck Less podcast. If you've first time here, awesome. Just to let you know, I'm just one guy that has things that comes to his mind and things that irritate me, and I just want to get them out in the open. And if you've heard this before, welcome back. Again, I put the claim out there that these are just my rants, things that bother me, and if you don't agree with what I say, I don't care because it's my podcast. So anyway, some of the things I've been thinking about, and a little late getting this one up, talking about taking your position seriously. And when I say taking your position seriously, that can mean your position in your business or in the fire service, which I'll hone in a little bit today, or taking your position on the fire ground seriously of what your job is. One of the things that I talk about when I was a command officer, and I still am a command officer, but rapid intervention. Nobody wants to be the rapid intervention company. We don't have the amount of fires that that they used to have back when America was burning in the 70s and all that. But it's an important position. It's probably one of the most important positions on the fire ground is that rapid intervention companies. What I tell people is when you arrive on the scene and your responsibility, if you're that first due engine company that's responsible as the rapid intervention company, that you are ready to go in case somebody calls for a mayday or I need something to happen right away, like they lose pressure in a hose line and you've got a charge line ready to go. But you can't accomplish that if you're not ready to do the job. And what I mean by that is you don't have your PPE on all the way. You don't have your SCBA on with the air turned on. And I take it a step further. I want that rapid intervention company, that engine company, if that's who is in charge, that leader, to have their crew with their face piece on, their air on, but not breathing air. So if somebody calls Mayday or if I need them to go in service right away, all they have to do is click their regulator into their face piece and go. The last thing that I want anybody to have to do is have to wait for somebody to get themselves ready before they can go in to effect a rescue or to mitigate some type of emergency or an incident within an incident. When I was an incident commander, my guys knew that if you were the rapid intervention company, your responsibility was to be ready to go in and rescue a brother or sister if they were in trouble. That means, again, full PPE, SCBA on your back and turned on, face piece on, Nomex, hood, and helmet, gloves, ready to go. Your cache of tools, whatever you would need. So all you would have to do is if I call you to go, you click in, you go. A lot of people may disagree with that. Fine, you're free to, but I want those crews to go in right away. Moving away from the rapid intervention company. And just so you understand, when you call for a rapid intervention dispatch, you're going to get more units that are going to arrive on the scene, like a truck and a rescue squad or a truck or a rescue squad. You might get another engine company. Those units are free to circulate around the fire ground to make sure that ladders are up, giving updates on all four sides of the building. If things need to be ventilated, make sure that the windows are ventilated correctly. That's what that rapid intervention group is responsible for. But that initial rapid intervention company, I want them ready to go in at a moment's notice. Other thing, truck drivers. This is like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. If you are driving a truck and you're responding to a garden apartment fire or even a single family, I want ladders to the building, front and back. If you are a company that on a full assignment, you get two truck companies, great. Between the two drivers, you can take care of the front and the rear. If you only get one truck, then that truck driver is going to be busy. He is going to need to get ladders to the front of the building and get ladders to the rear of the building. Sometimes when we go to work, we have to actually go to work. So that truck driver, I don't need you setting up your outriggers to get the stick up or to get the tower up on a single family. I need ladders to the building. Ladders are for us to get out of the building if there's an emergency or to get into the building to start working on rescues or to get to the upper floors. But if the shit goes down and I call for an evacuation as an incident commander and you need to get out by a ladder, or if you're trapped in a room and the only way you have to go out is a window and there's no ladder there, we have failed. So truck drivers, you've got to make sure that ladders are going to the building. Same thing with engine company drivers. If you get your pumps set and everything's going fine, you've got your portable radio, you can monitor what's going on, I have no problem with you helping that driver get ladders to the building. And guess what? Most engine companies carry at least 2 ladders on their rig. So work together, ladders to the building, the ladders are for us. And to take it a step further, ladders are set for rescue at or below the windowsill. So if we have to come out, we're not competing with rungs in a window. Engine company officers, another thing that irritates me is you don't bring tools in. And I know people say, well, we only run with a 3-person crew and I got to help that person get the line in place. Great. You can help them get the line in place. To get the line to the front door, that's a 1-person operation. Once you go inside, if you've got a feed hose line, fantastic. But you need to make sure that you got a tool with you, whether it be a set of irons or a Halligan hook or some type of hook and a Halligan bar, or an axe and a Halligan bar, an axe or a hook. But you need to take tools with you. I actually had a captain look at me when the fire got knocked on the top floor of a garden apartment, and I said, let's get this place opened up. And he said, Chief, we're an engine company. That's truck work. And it was everything I could do not to choke the shit out of him. And I asked him, are you in the fire department? And he looked at me stupidly. Yes. I said, do you carry hooks on your engine? And he said, yes. And I said, go get one. As a chief officer, I always brought a tool in with me. I might not use it. I might have to give it to somebody else, but I always had a tool with me. I firmly believe never an empty hand. You're going in to do work. Sometimes you got to do work. Talking about tools, forcible entry. If you are riding in the forcible entry position, be it on a rescue squad or be it on a truck company, or even if that's the position you're assigned to on the engine, you have to know how to use your tools. Conventional forcible entry, using a set of irons, you need to know how the Halligan bar goes to the door if you're going to force the door with the Halligan bar. If you don't, you have no business riding in that particular position. And if you don't know, you need to go find out. You need to ask somebody. You need to understand that position. But you got to bring the tools to do the job. That means if you're riding forcible entry, in my book, set of irons, 8-pound axe, flathead, and a Halligan bar. Also bring, if you have a forcible entry bag, it may have a hydroram or a rabbit tool or some type of hydraulic forcible entry tool and a K tool or an R tool and whatever have you, that goes with you as well. A lot of people will say, well, I can just use the rabbit tool or the hydroram to force a door. Okay. You're on the top floor of an apartment and you're using that, but you need to open up 3 other doors. Is everybody just going to wait in line until you're done with that tool? You bring your set of tools with you. You can open up multiple doors with a set of irons as well as your hydraulic forcible entry kit. Also, you need to be so fluid with using your tools and how you're going to force a door that you need to have a plan B and a plan C, because a lot of times plan A ain't going to work. So you need to have the forethought to think, if this doesn't work, then I'm going to do this, and I can do this if this doesn't work. That's why I've always said the rookies should not be on the special services. You need to have some time under your belt. Engine drivers, know the length of your hose lines. Know what you're supposed to pump them at. This is something that should be committed to memory. If you're running 200-foot crosslays and they're 1.75 inches, you should know right away. Is it a low-pressure nozzle? Is it a smoothbore nozzle? Is it a fixed gallonage? Is it a variable gallonage? Whatever. You should know what those flows are right away. So when they call for the water, you can give them water, give it to them at the right pressure. So you need to know your pump calculations. You need to know the length of all your hose lines. You need to know what the nozzles are that are on the end of that hose line. And again, you can go back, set the pumps, monitor the radio. You can help the truck company throw some ladders. Just don't be a slave to the pump panel once you get it there and you just sit there and look at your gauges. There's other things as an engine driver. A good proactive engine driver is going to make sure that other duties that need to happen on the fire ground are happening. Also, as the engine driver, you are responsible for that attack line from the engine to the front door. So if there's any kinks, if there's any obstacles that are going around, if the line's stuck behind a tire, going around a tree, your responsibility is to make sure that that line's moving cleanly from the engine company to the front door. Moving forward, knowing your position in the company. Officers, you need to make sure that your firehouse is in order. That means that it gets cleaned every day. Okay. A dirty firehouse, dirty tools, dirty engine companies or truck companies, dirty apparatus is a sign of a lazy shift. Okay. Take pride in your work. If you're a volunteer or it is your firehouse, okay, even if you have career people that work there 24/7, 365, if it's a volunteer firehouse, then that firehouse belongs to you as the volunteer. Take pride in your firehouse. If something's not working, get it fixed. If the plumbing's backed up, if the toilets are backed up, if the sinks aren't draining, if the concrete's breaking apart, if there's something going on in the building itself, the stove doesn't work, get it fixed. It's your firehouse. If it was at your personal residence and your toilet was clogged or your shower wasn't draining or your kitchen wasn't working, you're goddamn right you'd call somebody to get it fixed, okay? Take some pride in your firehouse. Make sure that it's your home away from home. It needs to be comfortable. That transitions into if you've got a dirty firehouse with dirty apparatus and your plumbing's crappy, your air conditioner doesn't work, your boiler doesn't work, whatever it is, do you think volunteers are going to want to stick around in a place that sucks? Absolutely not. So you owe it to your members. You owe it to the career people that are there. If it is your firehouse, make sure it's in order. Enough of my rant. Please take what I said, listen to it. If you don't agree, that's fine. This is America. I don't care. It's my podcast, like I said before. Anyway, thanks for listening. Remember, talk less, do better.